But you know what's cool about the brain? It holds all of our knowledge, all of our thoughts and ideas, and yet it doesn't even know itself. There's so many misconceptions about how our brains work, and that's why today we'll be looking at some common brain myths. We like to define people as left or right-brained. The left brain being objective, logical, and efficient, excelling in math, patterns, and saying, actually. While the right-brained people are subjective, creative, and emotional. They're good with people, feelings, and pretty pictures. Wow, that one's going right up on the fridge, bud. Oh. Let's see how these two tackle a common problem, the classic trolley situation. There's a train on a track going towards 5 people. They're gonna die. Do you switch the train to the track with only one person? And no silly business like derailing the train or pretending you didn't see it. You're involved. There's blood on your hands. A logical left-brain person might say, okay, well, obviously we need to perform the necessary evil of switching the track to only kill one person instead of 5. A net positive from our current situation. But a right-brain person might tackle this situation a little differently.
I put flames on it. I made it pretty.
Now it'll go much faster.
You'll suffer less pain because fast. Boy, it's a bad day to be an empath.
Basically, left brain likes to think inside the box, and right brain doesn't know where the box is. You know, logical, creative. Makes sense, right? No, they've played us for absolute fools. Actual scientific research using brain imaging technology has found no evidence of right or left brain dominance. We use all our brain. So why do people believe in this left brain versus right brain propaganda? Well, maybe it's just intuitive. I mean, after all, people do have a dominant hand, dominant foot, and even a dominant eye. So a dominant brain side just makes sense. And speaking of senses, everyone knows that we have 5 senses: sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. But everyone is dumb. This misconception dates all the way back to Aristotle, but the truth is, he's dead. And we have way more than 5 senses. And I'm not talking about my impeccable sense of humor. Cue the funny joke I prepared. Incredible. Well, neurologists agree that there's at least 9, but could be considered more depending on how you classify them. The additional generally agreed upon senses include thermoception, which is the ability to gauge temperature; equilibrioception, which is your internal gyroscope that keeps you balanced; nociception, which is to feel pain, ooh, owie; proprioception, which is body awareness. It's what lets you close your eyes and touch your nose. Where is it? Amphibioception, the ability to tell if I'm lying to you. That was dry. Bigger brain means bigger thinking, right? No. Sperm whales have the biggest brain of any animal, averaging about 18 pounds. That's 6 times bigger than the average human, but they can't do math. But Albert Einstein can, and he had a smaller than average sized brain for an adult male, but he's considered a genius among other humans. This is because the most important contributor to intelligence is actually the structure of your brain. Your mind is a fortress. The folds we can see in our brain are called fissures. There's the small inward ones, sulci, and the outward ones, known as gyri. These folds make a better surface to volume ratio so that more neurons can be packed in a given area with shorter distance between them. Therefore, more and faster communication. Basically, Einstein had a super foldy brain, especially his parietal lobes, which are responsible for mathematical and spatial cognition. Wrinkly brain, huge thinking. We only use 10% of our brain on a daily basis, saving the other 90% to learn new things. You know, it's like our brain is a hard drive because you don't want to drop either of them on the floor. This is a myth, and it's a stupid one at that. Like, you don't just have empty space in there waiting to be filled up. We learn by creating new neural connections between our existing structures. Structures which are all important parts that do important things for different tasks.